My cheating wife got scared and begged me to forgive her, but she will get what she deserves. About 7 months ago, I found out that my STVXW was cheating on me. It hurt, I denied it, it hurt, and I tried to pick myself up a lot. I had a lot of depression for a long time. I never told her, but I was such a mess that she must have known. I think she just didn't care. At least that's what I think. I was done with everything about 2 or 3 months ago. I no longer cared about her or the marriage. I stopped paying attention to the relationship and began getting ready for my divorce and the new life that was to come. I did everything I could to stay away from my wife. When she was home, I tried to avoid going into the house. I wouldn't want to talk to anyone. I would only say yes, no, maybe, or I don't know when she asked me a question. I even left the bills for the divorce lawyer out in the open. She must have known I was checking out and getting ready to split up with her. Kids asked me about it, so it was clear to them what was going on. I even said, "We both love you, adults can't always be together, etc. And it's not your fault." My wife must have been in the room and heard me talk to the kids. Since she didn't say anything or complain, I took her silence to mean she agreed. Anyway, I met a girl a few days ago who I knew in school before I met my wife. We were always tense with each other, something to do with science. We flirted and touched each other all the time, but we never did anything about it. I want to call her Monica because she looks like Monica Bellucci. After I got the guts to do something about it, Monica and her family moved away. That made me feel bad for a long time. I was young, shy, and dumb though. In fact, I haven't thought about Monica in a long time. It's been a long time since I saw her. But the strain between us was clear as soon as we met. Even more than I remember, and it was easy to talk to them. She actually asked me to go on a date. And I told her what was going on with my STBXW. I told her I didn't want to date anyone until I was properly divorced. I was not going to lie. Monica was nice enough to give me her phone number and tell me to call her when I was done with my work. She told me she had never been married and was thrilled to see me again. I was even happier. The experience made me finally talk to my wife about the situation and start the split and divorce process. I was very pleased when I got home and waited for my wife. I told her we had to talk and asked her to sit down. I was laughing like a crazy person. I told her I had known for a long time that she was cheating. I told her I thought she knew I knew because I haven't been in a relationship with her for about 3 months now. She didn't seem to mind that I no longer care about her. I told her I'm ready to date and move on with my life. At the end of my speech, I said, "Taking everything into account, don't you agree that it's time for us to split up?" Her response was nothing like what I thought it would be. She began to cry, and it wasn't just normal tears. It was like a desperate noise that broke my soul. I've never heard anything like it before. That the affair didn't mean anything. She was making excuses and asking for second chances. We could make things better if we went to therapy, etc. I thought she would be happy, so I was surprised. I told her she didn't have to feel bad about going out with this guy. He seems to be more important to her than her family. If he wasn't, why should you go with him in the first place? She must have known that this would be bad for us. It's not possible for her to be that stupid, right? I asked her if she thought we needed to work on our marriage or family. That should have been done 7 months ago, before she had the affair. It can't be fixed now that it's too late. I didn't think our marriage was having any issues because she didn't talk to me, and I can't read minds, so I couldn't fix it. It was clear that she thought something was wrong when she started seeing the other guy something so wrong that talking to me couldn't fix it. There had to be something so missing or wrong for her to be okay with our kids growing up broken. If not, why do it? I told her in a cool and clear way that she couldn't have been with this guy for 7 months, and that she couldn't take back the pain and suffering she caused me. I've reached a point where I don't care about her, because of the pain she caused. Or, to be honest, I really dislike her. But I'm being polite so that we can raise our kids together in the future. I told her I didn't think she cared about me ever. If someone cared about them at all, they would never put them through this much pain. Their trust would not be broken in the same way that she did. Telling me she loves me doesn't mean anything, or have any weight, because her actions clearly show that she doesn't. At this point, she stopped making sense at all, and I couldn't understand a word she said. The whole thing is a mess, and I had to call her sister in the end, since I wasn't going to take care of her anyway. She was taken away by her sister after I told her what was going on. It made me feel so much better when they left. Life after 7 months, I could finally breathe. I am not able to find what I need here. She must have known this was going to happen. She had to want it. She can't be that stupid to think that the choices she made and the way she acts will lead to anything other than a divorce and a broken family. She looks lovely. She knows a lot. Our marriage was great until she began having an affair. I know that things will change in my life. I'm over it now. She now acts like she loves me and wants us to stay married and have a family. What on earth could be her reason for causing all this trouble right now? What could she get out of it? I mean, she couldn't expect us to try to get along now, could she? Could she? It has to be some kind of trick, right? I have no idea what it is. I have a lot of proof that she is cheating on me. These changes would not mean anything for her since I live in Europe. Is that it? Does she think I'll find out who she is? Is that it? She wants me to feel sorry for her, so I won't tell anyone what she did. Her AP is married, so she might be afraid that I will take her as my wife. It's just too hard for me to understand. I had to get this off my chest anyway. I thought it would make more sense when I typed it, but it doesn't. I'm still as confused as I was when I started this rant. Update: I have no idea why my STBXW is cheating. Thanks to everyone for everything. It's been crazy in many ways. I tried to read everything, but I haven't had time to answer everyone. I wrote the post 3 days after talking to my STBXW, and I hadn't slept much. In fact, I passed out while reading computer messages. I woke up the next morning with a cool keyboard design on my face and a lot less stress. I chose to make some plans. There are arguments for and against the main points. I wrote a title on each piece of paper and hung them up on the wall. Are you kids? How should I act when I meet the wife? My marriage? Monique? What should I ask my wife? Etc. Since it would take too long to retype the whole thing here, I will just talk about a few of the most important points. My goal was to figure out what my guiding principles would be, and what the most important things were that I wanted to pay attention to. Following that, I looked at each one, and decided if it would actually help me achieve anything important. What would be the point of it all if I really got somewhere? The kids are the most important thing to me. I'm going to do more to help them deal with this. I will plan trips so that we can spend more valuable time together and make new memories. I will also do more solo and family counseling. Also, I'll get the rest of my family on my side to help them get through this and them in love. I'll also talk to their coaches, teachers, and other people they work with. I want to make sure that they can get help right away and anywhere. I got a STI test and scheduled DNA tests for the kids because it makes me feel bad to think that they might not be mine. But I need to be sure for their sake. If they're not mine, they might need to know about my medical background. What if they want to talk to their real dad when they grow up? What will they think of me if I don't do something now? I hope they are mine, and I will be upset until I know for sure whatever the case is. They first talked to their therapists alone, then came with us. We carefully explained everything, and they were free to ask as many questions as they wanted. They could come to me with anything. I told them over and over again. I will always be there for them because I am their dad and I love them very much. Anything they need, at all costs. It was clear to me that I could never trust my wife again in my marriage. People can't be together if they don't trust each other. I also realized that I don't love my wife anymore. I don't love the person she has turned into. A big part of me was used up by my love for her. But the affair killed that. It completely changed how I saw her. It's possible that I could love her again. I would have to want that, though, which I don't really want to do. It would be better to end it and move on with our lives. I no longer want to get married, be with her, or become her partner. I used to feel endless joy and happiness when I thought about the part of me that loved her. I'm scared and remember being hurt by that now. Actually, the very thought of being close to her makes me feel very bad right now. I believe that I will get divorced, and I want it to happen as soon as possible. I had a lot of conversations with Monica. Based on what people said here on Reddit, I had some worries. It might not have been such a good idea to start a new friendship right away. To be honest, I didn't want to include her in my mess either. My life is a mess right now. She didn't agree. She said, "Life is messy, so let's see how we can deal with it together while we're dating." She was engaged when her fiancé died suddenly in a work accident almost 5 years ago. That's why she never got married. She was crushed by this, and even though she had gone on a few dates since then, she still hadn't been able to connect with anyone. From her point of view, everyday life is too short not to take risks when the chance comes up. I say that I don't want to start anything until the split is final. I want to stay married and not cheat on my husband. She agrees with you and loves that. I also talked about how people might think of us if we suddenly wear something in public. It would be easy to try to prove that she broke into the house. She agreed that I didn't want that, and we will wait a little while longer before we do anything. I'm really interested in Monica. I feel like this phone call is bordering on an emotional one, so I won't call her again until my formal split is over. We decided that I would take care of my business and get in touch with her when I was ready. Then we would decide what to do. I wrote down some rules about who I want to be when I was making plans for the meeting with my wife. When I met her, I would do everything I could to be that man, the man I used to be before everything happened. I made up my mind that I needed to stay cool, not be mean, and remember that the point of this talk was to get our lives back on track. The goal was to be able to raise our kids together as well as possible. Still, I made a list of questions to try to figure out why she wanted to have an affair. Also, what she was thinking about the next step. To get a post-nup or some other benefit in the divorce, I wasn't going to lie to her or give her false hope that we could get back together. I've chosen to be as fair as possible, so I'll give her half of all my assets and control of our kids. This person has been very mean to me, so I will not use her as an example. I'm going to do something so I can stand by what I do today. Today, tomorrow, and 20 years from now, I hate her because of what she did to me, my family, and our kids. But I love remembering the good times we had together while they were still going on. I also love the kids we had together and raised as a family. From now on, I will try to remember her in this way, not for cheating. To move on, I need to forgive her at some point. I can't hold on to anger. I believe our marriage was great until she cheated on me. We made love every day. A lot of good time was had, by all of us. We didn't fight much, and we were willing to make sacrifices for each other. I was really honest with her until I found out she was cheating on me. I thought she was honest with me too, but what she did now makes me doubt that. I went to see her on Saturday. I knew she wasn't feeling well because her sister told me so. She was right, my STBXW did look awful. Her eyes were bloodshot, her face was swollen, and her hair was messy. That woman looked a lot smaller than I remember. It was like she had collapsed in on herself. She hasn't eaten or slept much this week. When we all sat down, my wife was shaking so badly she was almost unable to control it. Surprisingly, I was calm. I felt her pain, but not as a caring partner. I felt her pain the same way I would feel for a character in a movie I was interested in. I really don't know how to describe how I felt, but it made me think that I probably don't love her anymore. I just sat there and waited for her to calm down enough to talk. She tried to talk a few times but kept crying. When I watch her, I know it's not a trick. I've seen her cry before, but never like this. I guess people can act like they're crying. But I don't think anyone can fake the look of crying nonstop for a week with big snot bubbles and sobs that hurt your soul. When she finally spoke, it was like a dam burst, and she said sorry every word. It was amazing that she didn't try to make excuses for herself or put the blame on me. Her sister cried too, and every once in a while she would scold her. It was also clear that her sister had told her this was going to happen because that's how she lost her fiancé a year ago. That is something I didn't know. My wife had a midlife crisis because her sister cheated on her. A lot of times she thought about cheating. In the end, it looks like she did it because she had a crush on the guy and couldn't stop herself. That person never thought I would find out or that someone would get hurt. Everything about it was selfish. It looked like she was very happy in our marriage. She told herself that she deserved this fling and that I probably agreed with her. If I knew how happy she was at the time, I would believe that she thought this affair would end and that we would all be happy as a family again. She didn't know. I knew what it was. She only asked what was going on when I started to pay. I heard that she broke up with the AP about 1.5 months ago, after all the excitement had died down. I checked her phone, and she had blocked him. When I unblocked him, texts from the past 15 months started coming in. She tried to get me interested in our marriage again, but I wasn't interested in anything to do with her. She was sure that we could get back together and become stronger than ever until I sat her down. When I spoke to her, she looked me straight in the eyes. She knew that this most likely meant the end of the line. It hit her like a ton of rocks how true everything was. I tried to ask her some questions, mostly about why she thought she had the right to treat us this way. To our kids? In the end, it's just greed on her part. So many of you have already pointed this out to me. I will never find the answers I'm looking for because they don't exist. Because there is no good reason to cheat, I will never get a good answer. In a strange way, I did get peace, though I got to tell her how much she hurt me. What terrible pain she had caused. She finally agreed that she was to blame for the fact that our marriage is over and our kids will grow up in a broken home. I had a strange sense of peace after reading this. She read everything she could find on how to fix a marriage that had been broken by cheating. She was ready for me with a full schedule and a signed confession that went into great depth. I just gave it to my lawyer. I haven't read it yet. She begged and begged for another chance, and she meant it. I told her I didn't trust her and didn't believe anything she said. I told her she broke it and asked her what she could do to fix it. If she doesn't know how to fix it, does she think I'll give it to her? I asked her what she would say if she were me. In fact, these kinds of questions went back and forth for a while. They finally agreed that if the roles had been switched, she probably wouldn't have forgiven this either. When I told her I had a STI test and was going to do a DNA test on the kids, she broke down in tears for about 20 minutes. She said that this was the only time she had ever lied or done something wrong. She said again that I had no reason to believe her. And she said that if she were me, she would probably think the same thing. I asked her if the wife of AP knew. She had no idea. She agreed that she had a right to know. I asked her if she thought I should tell her or not. She asked me if I would think about getting back together or going to marriage therapy if she told me. I told her no, but I added that it would help me respect her a little more. She said she would tell the AP's wife and everyone else, and she would also tell HR the truth. I told her again that I don't really believe what she says. She promised that she would never be with anyone else, and that she would always try to get back with me. It didn't matter how long it took. I didn't believe her, but I didn't say anything. At this point, it was becoming too much. She promised me an open marriage with full access to all of her messages and availability 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She asked me what I heard from Monica. I told her I was waiting because I didn't want to lie. I don't want to be with someone who is close to me. That would be bad for her. And I don't want to hurt other people the way she hurt me. I also don't want to be her jailer continually spying on her, and being wary isn't a healthy way to be with someone. Intimacy without a deeper relationship is also not something I'm interested in. Sex just for the sake of sex has no value for me. I can fix my own automatic release if I need to. That doesn't need a partner. We were all tired at this point. We had been out for more than 5 hours, and my wife had been crying almost the whole time, in a range of awful ways. There was nothing else to do about this. It was over. I became very clear with her that the love I had for her was gone. I no longer recognized the person she had changed into. Our family had died because of her, and I was going to get a divorce. I told her that she couldn't take back what she had done. The only thing that could have stopped this could have been her not having the affair 7 months ago. I didn't want to get married again. I did not want her to come back. I didn't want any more pain. I offered that we stop talking to each other for a while to get some space and new ideas. I told her I had already filed and was set on what I was going to do. As of right now, I don't even want to see her. We could start family treatment to learn how to co-parent. It hurt so much to tell her this. She was crying hard and saying, "Please don't do this." She had a huge, almost explosive nosebleed when I got up to leave. She tried to reach for me but passed out. I caught her just in time before she fell. I took her and her sister to the emergency room and stayed until I heard she was okay. STVXW told everyone what she did last night and again today. This morning, the AP's wife called me to make sure what my wife had told her was true. I gave her copies of some of the proof. I just found out that she threw her husband out. She wants to talk to you and see more proof. She has had suspicions for a long time, but Haven had proven it. Tomorrow I think we should have dinner together. She needed to talk, so she asked if we could call each other. I'm not sure if I can do that now. I told her it might be later. I will be honest, I'm a mess because I haven't been able to sleep. There are holes in my resolution. I know I need to be strong. But it's really tough. Why do I feel so bad? Why do I think it's my job to try to fix this? We might be able to trick ourselves for a while, but it probably won't last. Some of her family and friends have been calling me and swearing at me because they think I should forgive her. But I am thinking in my head, why make the pain last longer? It's better to end it now so we can start to heal and start over. That's all there is to it. There's no drama, no hate, no resolution, and no peace. There is no happy finish, only more pain for everyone. Right now, my mind is very dark. To be honest, I don't know what to do.